Our brand new fifth wheel is already packed up and ready to roll, but before we hitch up, we're gonna take the truck over to the cat scale. Today, we're gonna find out exactly what does our truck and our trailer weigh, and are we under the truck's specifications? In this episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you stopped by. My name's Patrick, and I have been RVing now for 20 years. And today we are here at Love's. We're gonna start by weighing our RV. And if you've never used the cat scale app, the Weigh My Truck cat scale app, it is wonderful. You never have to talk to anybody. You just pull onto the scale, log into your app and accept the charges, and you'll actually get your results emailed to you instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull over here to the scales, get the truck weighed, then we'll go back, hitch up the trailer, get it weighed, and then we'll go through the results. All right, so we're pulling onto the scale, and you want your front axle on the first scale in front of the yellow line, and your back axle on the second scale, in essence, behind the yellow line. And so what I always like to do is just take a quick peek-see and make sure, yep, we're good. So now what I do is I've opened up the app, and then all I have to do is confirm this is the location. If it doesn't come up right, there's a location number out here that you can type in, but this is the right one. I'm gonna do that. And then it's gonna, I've already filled it out. Company name, you can just put your name, your truck number. I just have one, trailer number 1, and that's all we have to do there. I'm going to accept the $13.50 fee. And now what it's going to do is request from the Weighmaster to go ahead and do this. And it just takes a moment. A lot of it depends on how busy I believe they are inside and how quickly they hit the buttons they need to hit. Okay, processing. And there we go. We have an instant readout. Now we'll get back to this in a little bit. But you can see we're currently weighing in at 7,920 pounds, and we do have a full tank of gas on, and we're loaded for our trip. So let's go ahead, head back to the campground. We're gonna hitch up the trailer, and then we will be back here. We'll weigh the whole thing. And like I said, then we'll break down the numbers at the end to see where we're at. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. It is the gas version. It's a 2022 model. And, you know, we've had this truck coming up on 2 years this August, and it has done a really good job. Originally, it pulled our Lance travel trailer, and then last year it pulled our Alliance 22 ML. And this trailer that we have currently, the Alliance 29 RL, is about 2,000 pounds heavier than the last one. However, they advertise the pin weight as being about the same. So I'm really curious. I know there's going to be no issues with this truck in terms of the weight specifications, but I am going to be curious to see what is the actual pin weight on our 29 RL now that the trailer is fully loaded with all of our belongings in it. And you're going to find out just like we are.
Where are we headed?
The cat scale.
The cat scale. Why? Thought we were already there.
We now have to weigh the truck and the trailer together, and once we have the original weight of just the truck and then this one with combined, we'll be able to break down the numbers.
Break it down, wiki wiki.
Yep, and figure out exactly where we're at in trailer weight, pin weight, and total combined weight. This time we're going to put our front axle of our truck on the very first scale, the rear axle of the truck on the second scale, and then I want the trailer's axle on the last scale. So I'm going to get this lined up, and I think we should be right about there. Should be good, but again, I always like to do the check-see. I'm going to open my app. Confirm our location. And now it's going to ask me, is this a first weigh or a reweigh? So we're going to say it's a reweigh because it's the second time. And this time it's only $4 for the reweigh. So a little bit cheaper. In fact, quite a bit cheaper. It was $13.50 on the initial weigh. Now we're doing the same thing. It's verifying with the Weighmaster. And as soon as we get the go-ahead, it'll process. And there we go. And initially, I can tell you right now, we're at 19,220 pounds total with the truck. I believe the truck's rated for 24,000 pounds, so we're way under. We'll get into all these numbers here in a little bit. All right, now that we've weighed our truck and then we went back and weighed our truck and trailer, let's run through some of the numbers. And we're gonna start by putting up on the screen here the first weigh, which was just our truck. And you'll see that the steer axle, which is that front axle, came in at 4240 and the rear axle came in at 3680 for a total weight of 7920. So that was the truck, Patty and myself, the two dogs. We had a full tank of gas. We had our fifth wheel hitch in the back, as well as 2 crates of tools that I carry and 40 bottles of water and just a couple of little minor accessories like a plastic crate and that 4 tire, to change your lugs. So that was the total weight there. Then we went back, picked up the RV, and I'm gonna put up that next ticket, and this is gonna be the weight with the truck and the trailer combined. Now you'll notice that front axle did not change. We were still at 4240, but the drive axle on the truck jumped up to 5780, and we'll go through that here in a minute when we break down these numbers. The weight on the trailer axle was 9,200 pounds, giving us a combined weight with the truck and the trailer of 19,220 pounds. So what does all of that mean? Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by calculating our pin weight. Now, I believe Alliance advertises the pin weight on this particular model, the last time I saw at least, unless they've updated it, at about 1,500 pounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our rear axle of our truck from the second weigh, which included the pin of the fifth wheel, and we're going to subtract out the rear axle weight on the first weigh when it was just the truck, and that's going to give us a pin weight of 2,100 pounds. So if you're thinking about this 29RL, be aware that that pin weight's going to be a little higher maybe than what they're advertising. Now, a lot of that's going to depend on how you load your RV, and I should mention the RV is fully loaded with everything we needed for living this summer at the campground, as well as for this particular trip that we're on. It also had a full tank of fresh water on board. And remember, I have installed all of my solar equipment, i.e. 3 200 amp hour lithium batteries, the Victron Multi Plus 2 3000 is up there, and the charge controller, and all of that is right up there in the front storage bay. So that's all going to add weight to that pin weight. So we're good on pin weight. Now that we have that number, I want to look at the truck's gross vehicle weight rating. Now, our truck is rated for the actual weight of the truck. This is just what can you have in the truck. It's rated for 10,550 pounds. If I subtract out the pin weight and that first weigh on the truck, that leaves us 530 pounds to the good on how much weight we could put in the truck. So what does that mean? It means we can throw our electric bikes in the bed of the truck. We're going to have no issues with weight. So in terms of just how it can the truck handle, we're good there. Now, in terms of the rear axle weight rating, and there are so many weights you need to worry about when you're hauling, but your truck's rear axle has a rating, and ours is rated for up to 6,600 pounds. Now, if I subtract out the weigh with the pin in there, that came in at 5,780. That leaves us 820 pounds, and that's what we would call, in essence, that rear axle weight rating. We want to make sure, because we don't want to put too much weight on that rear axle. And then we can also look at our truck's combined gross weight rating, and that's going to take into account the weight of the truck, the weight of the trailer, what can the whole thing be. And for this particular Silverado 2500 HD, it is rated for 24,000 pounds, and we came in at 19,220 pounds, which means we still have 4,780 pounds to spare for what our truck is rated with total weight rating. Now let's look at the RV itself, because not only do we have to worry about the weight for the truck and the combined weight of the truck and the trailer, but we also have to worry about the weight in the RV. Now, you can find your RV's gross vehicle weight rating typically on a sticker on the side of your camper. They're going to have that information along with like your VIN and the axle ratings for your trailer. This one says it is rated for 11,895 pounds. The trailer weighed in at 9,200 pounds, plus we had 2,100 pounds in pin weight. So if I subtract those two out, we still have 595 pounds left that we could put into the RV. Now remember, that is with a full tank of water on board. If we drop the water, then that number's probably going to go up by 400 to 500 pounds in terms of how much we have. But I feel really comfortable knowing that we're pretty much fully loaded the way we're going to have it when we go full-time in it, and we still have weight to put in there. So that's good. And then finally, the truck is rated for a fifth wheel tow rating of 16,710 pounds. So in essence, what they're saying is you can tow a fifth wheel or a gooseneck that weighs up to 16,710 pounds. Ours, when we weighed it, came in at 11,300 pounds, which means we're to the good, 5,410 pounds. That's a lot of numbers, but I had no doubt that we were going to be fine with our truck, with this trailer, but I wanted to know exactly where we're at. And understand, every time you haul, these numbers can change, because depending on what you put in your truck and what you put into your RV, whether you're running with fresh water, whether you're running with your gray and black tanks with liquids in them, that can really change things. But for us, we're in really good shape in terms of the numbers. All right, have you weighed your truck and RV and found out whether you're within your truck specifications? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know if this helps you better understand these numbers and how to break them down. All right, everybody, until next time, we'll see you on down the road. Bye.
Travels with Lady. We'll see you on down the road.